Buttervision. Bama and the Butterverse is taking the show on the road. What up, snitches? Yo, we're taking this show on the road, as I said. We're out here in sunny California in the Silver Shark, topless. The titties is out, and I ain't talking about hers.
Thank God that's not well. They're kind of out. They're always kind of out. So.
Let's start off. Happy Halloween to our fans out there, right?
Happy Halloween.
And if you didn't see it, we did post on Buttervision some little video from our Halloween party that we were at this weekend.
Yes,
and Kristi, tell them how you rolled.
Showed up as Elvira, Mistress of Dark.
And we're gonna get deeper into this on the post game show, but she had a little makeup, her little
the wig, all that stuff, and then JD really brought it.
I came as
legendary
his royal badness, Prince, and I did it up. And you check the video, but we're gonna talk about it after the post game show.
Yes, yes.
So happy Halloween. Now let's get into this because we forgot to talk about this last week.
We did forget to talk about it last week, but it's very important because it's something I actually predicted.
Right.
Which doesn't happen all the time. I'm not always that great at my predictions.
Yeah, I've been a big braggart anytime I get my predictions right. But so we had to.
So I got to bring mine back up because with Idris at the very beginning, with the very beginning, when we're doing our little sneak preview of all the competitors and who was going to be on the show, this guy right here is like, ooh, this one right here, Idris, he's a boxer and he's going to be great. He's going to be so good. And I looked at the picture and was like, he looks like he's going to be a little soft. Let's see how he really, he proved my expectations all right.
He really did. He really did.
To be a little bit of a pansy, and
and I think maybe that's why one of the reasons I was so like aggro with him all season is because
you were mad that your boxer.
Yeah, he really didn't show out.
No.
Yeah, so you call that one.
I called it.
Now the big news this week, I'm sure you saw the episode, and we're still reeling over here. This cat is definitely one of my favorites.
I know, you love him.
So to see Turbo gone.
Calm down just a little bit. We got neighbors here. We're going to get the cops called on us. Things you can't do while you're black. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Anyway,
actually, you should.
Anyway, yes.
America.
They kicked Turbo off for getting loud. Going off. Like back in the day, MTV would let the brawls kind of go down, like get to a certain point at least. I mean, if you threw a fist, maybe you threw a punch, you'd get kicked off. But you could do maybe like a little chest bump, a little shove even. Definitely you could get loud and stuff. But now it's like you got violent 2 times, so we're sending you home.
Dude.
The soft times we're living in right now.
Yes.
They're going along with like no bullying, no violence. That's the part of the show that people kind of love. It's like seeing sometimes that they get heated and stuff. It's just part of it.
Right. And you want that little, that air of something could happen. Now, of course, you know, we don't want to see someone get bludgeoned like CT, young CT.
Nobody wants that.
Treated, what's his name?
Adam.
Yes, Adam King. But still, you want them to be able to step up and be like, "What's up, punk?"
Be able to like take up for themselves.
Yeah,
I don't know,
man.
I mean, I did say Turbo was getting a little too emotional and he was getting too into the head of mentality of like letting that stuff get to him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it did get him sent home.
cost
But
him.
I don't know that necessarily he should have.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to Justin Booth about this when he comes on the show later this season, executive producer of the show, and I'm also again gonna bring up to him my challenge Fight Club concept because I really think, dude, this could be something. You know, some of these cats. Let's see you talking all this junk.
I'd love it to see some of these guys.
Now, you know the other thing too about like, dude, like, you know what, like. I'm not going to say that Jordan caused Turbo to get kicked off because I really kind of feel like Ashley had more to do with it.
That up,
but Jordan, dude, when Jordan starts talking about, when Turbo had security around him and he, you know, went into his tough guy act.
Oh, right. It's like,
dude,
no, he was.
It's not an act, okay? He's tough. And you're like a competitive accountant at a corporate, like, you know, situation. It's like, dude, it's not an act. He would destroy you in any kind of head-to-head fisticuffs or whatever. So don't just, Jordan, it's like Jordan always has to, like, I have to be the higher person.
Like the better person.
Dude, who doesn't get to that point of, like, fighting and stuff. It's like, because you're scared, because you would have gotten your ass whooped. Right. It's like, dude, come on, man. So, you know, the other thing, like, well, actually, you know what? Let's get right into this daily challenge because I think it had, you know, they missed Turbo.
They did miss Turbo. I mean, first time they lost after Turbo got kicked off.
It was a headbanger called Incoming. And the game, it's kind of like they got a big mud mosh pit. And they throw like a bunch of like rugby or football looking balls out there. And there's one less ball than competitors, right? So all the guys, they wade out into this thing and they're like wrestling and what have you. And like, speaking of that, Jordan, you got murked by CT.
This is true. But one thing that like happened like at the beginning that we realized was the U.S. has more players, so they had to draw do a random drawing to see who was actually going to be competing in this challenge. Which, like we said, or like we had talked about earlier, they did draw some really good competitors. Like, they should have been a really strong team and been able to pull it out. I mean, the only people that didn't get to play were Polly, Ashley, and Nani.
Right.
So I mean, they definitely picked some of the strongest ones, which they're all kind of strong to begin with. Whatever, they are.
Paulie is strong.
And
we're going to talk about those two other girls later.
We got to see CT.
Oh my gosh.
Seriousness.
When he like pulled off the shirt and it was like boy, oi, 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 that belly.
I'm taking it so seriously. I'm showing off the dad bod. I got to take the shirt off.
That belly came bouncing out of there. I mean, even CT, like I'm quoting CT's like, for all you fat motherfuckers out there, this one's for you.
This is for you. For people like me. Yay.
But he did go out there and like I said, he murked Jordan. Jordan big talk, like, and got murked not only by CT but by Theo also when he was trying to stop
Theo got the last ball.
Right.
And so Jordan was the first one eliminated.
Yes.
It was just really funny that after all that, he's the first one eliminated. So then it gets down to Joss Rogan against Leroy, and obviously Joss and Rogan are going to help each other out.
Right.
So the UK wins the guys.
Done deals. I think that UK rugby shit.
I think so too, because then the girls go in, and it basically gets down to the same thing where Kara's going against the two, Kaylee and Dee.
Right.
And Kara did hold her own.
She did.
Went hard holding her own, but 2 against 1. Obviously they came out victorious, and the UK finally wins. And like we said, we think it had to do a lot with the rugby.
Best, but clearly best performance by the UK so far this season.
And then Kaylee.
I will give her credit. This is the first time ever on any show that she's been on that she actually did anything good.
But I mean, she was getting left alone. Like nobody was really trying to challenge her.
She had wheels, dude.
You think it was because of her speed?
She was like, shh. I'm telling you, I was watching. I was like, look how fast once she gets the ball, she's gone, dude. But otherwise, we all know she sucks.
Yes.
So the UK wins. And so finally the U.S. Actually, before we get into that, because this is when it really starts getting good, let's check in with our sponsors.
Oh, we got to check in with the sponsors again.
right, we're back. Thank you to our sponsors. And we just finished the UK one for the first time.
Finally won a challenge.
I mean, it only took 47 episodes. Jeez. So now they get to pick a tribunal.
They get a tribunal.
This is unprecedented.
Yep. And
Kaylee,
Speaker of the House.
I don't know how that happened.
Well, yes, we do. So then she picks Jenny and Joss.
Right.
So then we go to a little confessional of Cara, who says that, of course, they thought that if they won, it would be Theo, Georgia, and Jenny.
Right.
But because they have the numbers, they had already, they basically were one step ahead.
Right.
And made sure that it was going to be Kaylee, Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
With Jenny and Joss. Because Joss and Kaylee are on their numbers. Like I said, MVPs, Cara and Polly, because they're
really doing some crazy marionetting right now.
They're running the show.
So they choose the tribunal. And then in between the tribunal and the deliberation, we see Nani and Leroy getting into a huge, as the Brits would call it, a row.
A row.
And here's my thing about this, dude. And I'm really like, I said I was going to talk about both Leroy and Nani later. And I've said this throughout the season. They're both dick riders. Okay? They've never earned their own way through the show, dude. And that's what they're trying to do now. They're not trying to, Leroy doesn't come in saying, I'm just going to beast mode and win a bunch of challenges and be indispensable.
I mean, he admits it. He admits that he is picking sides.
I can't respect
and he's
it.
going with like the stronger sides. I mean, I don't know. It's like that that is a way to get far in the game. It's just unfortunately what happens especially when you're like the last person to jump on the alliance. They're going to pick you off first once it gets down to just the alliance. So, I mean, obviously he's not going to be that protected by the numbers once it gets down to smaller. That's when he's going to have to step it up.
He's going to have to start winning, right? But yeah, I just thought that they're both nervous because they can't rely on being good.
And I felt like I wrote this down in my notes that Nani just doesn't like his alliance. Like, she doesn't like Cara and Polly, and so she's upset that Leroy has decided to go in their direction instead of with like Tori and Jordan. So she's just butthurt.
That's another thing, though, strategically why I'm anti-Nani right now is because once her guy, like Johnny and her other alliance friends were gone from the show, she has not worked to build new alliances. She's just kind of been like a spoiled, like, little child, like, I don't like them. And so now she's kind of out there twisting in the wind, potentially.
Yeah. So we might have to go back and black that guy's face out. Just so y'all know, we're obviously out here in the open. Things are going to happen. So
I know the legalities. We don't have to worry about that guy.
Just kidding.
So then, and this is crazy. Like, I don't know.
What, the elimination meeting?
Yeah.
Like, of course, it's the first kind of the first U.S. elimination meeting, and it was a shit show.
Oh, my
it was a shit show.
Like, Leroy, like, and this goes back to what I just said about Nani, like, being a she's like getting upset because he didn't even say her name.
He's like, you're not even being the one called out. So
and
why are you mad at me?
Should be.
And that's where I say she's mad because she doesn't like the alliance that Leroy has chosen. She didn't want it to go. She wanted to go with Tori and Jordan, I think.
To me, she's lucky she's not on the chopping block.
So,
she is the weakest girl on the U.S. team.
But like, they're snapping. Like, the girls are snapping, the guys are snapping. Kim's the smartest one because she goes, none of this is even none of this matters. Is back and forth. We've got the numbers. All we have to do is vote. We know who's going in.
Right.
We've already discussed it and we've got the numbers, so let's vote.
And
but they do the stupidest thing ever. The stupidest thing ever. They choose Tori.
The strongest, like, pretty much one of the top 2 or 3 girls still in the game. I don't understand why
they couldn't. Isn't there somebody else, like, in the line? Like, I guess Nani.
Outside
it
would have been Nani.
Outside of their alliance, they could I don't know. Cara and Polly, I don't understand the thing as far as like the strongest players. They're just trying to get rid of people who aren't in their numbers. But Tori is literally like the strongest girl.
She's a beast. She's been a beast all season.
They throw Tori in, which is stupid.
I think Ashley should have gone. Personally, I think Ashley should have gone in, or could have gone in also, because.
But Ashley's on their side.
I know, but just in terms of
they're all about the
earning what you've done in the game, Ashley to me should go in. She's. Ashley, even the season she's won, dude. The one season she won with Hunter.
I think Ashley's a good competitor.
Dude, she's not a bad competitor, but physically she's not one of the top ones. The season she won with Hunter, she rode Hunter's back the whole time. Hunter beast moded the whole time, except if it came to a puzzle or something that involved brains. Then she would. So that's how they were kind of even that season. I just think, and she's kind of responsible for Turbo going home.
Well, she.
So
no, that's
just on
true,
that,
that's true.
those.
But it's not about that. It's about
I
the
know,
numbers right now.
I
That's all there is
know.
to it. But Tori says she did want to go against Ashley, and she said she'll switch if she can get who she wants.
She did
if
say
wins.
that.
She told the UK.
Now she said that. She was saying like I want to go against Ashley because she's a tough competitor. I think she wants to go against Ashley because she thinks she can beat Ashley.
Well, she thinks she can beat anybody, and
That's
she can.
true.
She could have beat any of them. So, oh my gosh! But like right after the elimination meeting, I loved it when they go back, and they're all talking in the house. Leroy snapped on all the guys, like he had a dig on like each one of them when he said,
They were good lines.
they were hysterical because they were jumping on him. They were getting on him for voting like Tori and stuff.
Right.
So then he's like, Zach, who are you? You gassed out big time in a final.
Right.
Didn't even make it through. And Zach sat there silent. He couldn't even come back and say anything.
What could he say? I've
and
been
Leroy
saying that
said, I
about
did
that.
the same thing.
Right.
And then he also challenged Jordan to an elimination. Like, dude, let's go head to head elimination. I'll beat you. Jordan again was just kind of sitting there and couldn't say anything. And then he goes to Josh because Josh was like, I want to see that. I want to see that elimination. And he goes, shut up, Josh. All you do is cry. You cry more than anybody in
Well,
this, in
again,
this challenge
things we've
history.
been saying,
Of
too,
course.
like-
He's like, I hear about the drama. It was just funny because he was like, dude, at least MTV edited it that way where he just knocked them down
Right.
like one by one.
I mean, they were good lines. I've been saying this all season too. I like Leroy as a person on the game. I feel he's never really had a season where he was dominant physically, going out winning a lot of challenges. He's ridden dicks a bunch of times, and so
he admits it though, so that's.
So for him to be calling people out, I'm kind of like, yeah, that was snappy one-liners, but he, whatever on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like for the smart choice, now, so then the UK.
So then basically, like, they're setting it up. Everybody's thinking that they're going to throw in Ashley because obviously Ashley and Tori are two strong girls on the U.S. So it's like made to look like obviously we're going to throw in Ashley, but then Cara again is like, my cult. I've already set it up. We're throwing in Georgia. We're throwing in a sneak attack and throwing Georgia in, which I thought was very interesting. That MTV edited it to let us know that was coming
before it actually happened. Yeah.
None of us were surprised, which I thought it would have been a little bit more fun for it to have been a shock for all of us. And we all just thought it would have been Ashley. As it should have been, though, it's just crazy that Cara and Polly were able to manipulate them.
I can't even believe that. Because here's the thing, dude. It's like Ashley, too, is a danger to keep around as far as I'm concerned because she's one of the biggest turncoats in the history of the game. Like one of the biggest crooks out and out.
To get to the final and to win. So, of course, she's strong. She's tough. I mean, it's killing me. Because basically, then we go into the elimination.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think if I'm on the UK, I want Tori going up against, Cara or Cam or Ashley.
But it's all about the damn numbers.
Yeah, the alliances.
And Cara
again.
and Polly are running the show.
The alliances.
So basically, they get Kaylee and Joss to both vote Georgia.
Joss looked like he was about to cry about it, dude.
But I mean, and I got something to say about that with the Brits later on, because at the end of the day, you do have to start strategizing. It's not just about being a tough competitor.
So the proving ground was called Blockbuster. And it's Georgia and Tori. And it's basically a thing. They're up against the wall with blocks, and they have to push against each other. And the one, when the timer runs out, who has the most blocks pushed on the other side is the winner.
As long as nobody falls off.
Right.
If you fall off.
Fall off, yeah. 3 heats. Tori basically does what we expect, as good as Georgia has been in challenges.
Yeah, because they were not far. I mean, Tori got 7, Georgia got 6. So,
right.
I mean, they were only 1 off each round, but Tori won both heats. So Tori wins. Once again, we had the Brits finally winning a challenge, but one of their own strong teammates goes home.
Yes, but that is foreshadowing because the thing we've been waiting for all season happens next.
Yes, my girl, because it's my girl Tori, the first turncoat.
Yes.
She did the switch.
She asked the U.S.,
are y'all gonna just throw me in every time? And
they're like silent, dude.
Because
like,
they are, because it's the numbers game. Of course, we're gonna keep throwing her in. She goes, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to the Brits.
Right.
I'm going to the UK.
Awesome.
First turncoat of the season. Totally awesome. And it could be that they're setting up like what Jordan tried to plan last week.
Right.
And they could be setting this up. Maybe Jordan's gonna try to go in somehow next week and get on the Brits as well.
Man, dude, that was an exciting twist. So I love that she did that, man.
I did too. I did too. I mean, I thought she should have too, because because they were going to continue to throw her in.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. And then the Brits are getting a little bit stronger as far as physically, but I do think that they do have to start like learning the manipulation game, which is kind of what they did with Georgia.
Right.
Because when it comes to like a big groups against big groups and you have that many people that can form alliances, it's going to be about numbers and about strategy and manipulation. If it was like last season where it's couples against couples, you have a better chance. That's why so many of the Brits like got so far last season. But now that it's like these big numbers, you got to learn that strategy. So
before we get into our MVP and LVP calls, let's check in again with our sponsors. They've been calling us. We're now getting sponsors calling us.
More sponsors?
Let's check in with our sponsors. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Thank you to our sponsors. Now let's get into this because, you know, the MVPs and LVPs of this episode. What do you got for me?
I mean, MVPs are staying the same. It's
wow, 2 weeks in a row.
It has to be right now. They're running the show. I mean, they pretty much run the show. And Cara's like just sneaky, like always letting us know I'm one step ahead of everybody. And I mean, and I love how they're making Joss and Rogan think that they're running things and they're just not running.
They're like, you know, they're their minions is what they are. I'm going to go with MVP just like on a performance basis. Tori, to me, like kind of.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
She stepped it up and she looks like she's ready to kind of a little bit take over this competition in terms of performance. Again,
yes, I agree. And I mean, I'll give Tori that credit all day long. She's doing great. She did great in the elimination and let's see how she does with the Brits.
You know, so who's your LVP?
I don't know. I was kind of thinking about it, and I mean, I hate to say it, it might be Nani a little bit, just because of her getting so emotional and upset, like with the whole Leroy thing. Like she's really got to kind of calm down. I do think Leroy, at the end of the day, would try to help her and try to save her.
He did try,
and he did. Ultimately, he did.
Yeah,
she didn't get thrown in there. So
I'm gonna parrot that. I'm gonna like Nani was my LVP again, getting too emotional.
Which is usual and typical.
It is. You call that like early in the season.
I did, because she's always got some crying going on.
Right, but so she's my LVP this week. So final observations. What are your takeaways?
I mean, I guess I kind of already said it, where I'm like, if the Brits don't start learning how to get better with that manipulation game and like strategy game, they're going to keep losing. They're going to keep losing players because they won a challenge and still lost one of their strongest competitors. So, but I mean, Jenny's pissed. Jenny is mad about that. So I'd like to see like how she's going to try to turn on Kaylee.
They need
something like that.
Yeah. So. Although again, it's and this is one of my final observations that I already talked about. It's not really a country's thing anymore. It's an alliance thing.
It's definitely numbers.
Jenny actually the fact that she's beast moded this season might not even be a factor now.
I know, because she's not on the right side of the numbers, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the thing is that she'll probably, if she gets into an elimination, she'll probably win every time she gets into an elimination. So.
Another final observation I had, and this is going to be kind of interesting, now that the battle lines are pretty clear, how are the tribunals going to get picked? Because everyone's going to be like, I don't want her in the tribunal. Like, I don't
want. Well, you see how, like, because it happened this week. Once it gets to where they're going back and forth, TJ cuts it out.
Oh, yeah.
TJ cuts it off and says, you got to make a decision. We got to do a vote now. So, I mean, we'll always have TJ, I guess, to say, like, sorry, you guys are going to have to pick somebody.
Right. Now, any more final observations from you? All right, I got one more because I'm still kind of peeved about Turbo, but I neglected to mention that I was so upset that I went online to see if I could find out any more, like do a deep dive on information.
Right.
And one of the things I heard, now I just heard this from Jordan, so I take it with a grain of salt, but that he said that Turbo got in a full-on knockdown, drag-out brawl with security.
Really?
Yeah, that's what Jordan said.
Huh, interesting.
Because I think people were kind of like, he got kicked off for that.
I know, right?
You know? But the other thing I forgot to mention was Turbo's quote on Twitter after getting kicked after he got kicked off. He said, "My honor more important than $1 million. Fuck the asshole who can do everything for the money. That's why last lion go home. Happy Chicken's Day, chickens. So soon gonna see me again." So I hope that means that he's not banned from the show.
That's a pretty good Turbo impersonation right there, straight from the mouth of JD.
Now, next week, we saw we saw already like Tori kind of being like, I can't believe I'm on that.
I died laughing. Tori's like, why did I switch? They suck.
Already, dude.
That's so funny. Josh and Carr are irritated with each other about something, but that's nothing new. The challenge did look pretty tough, where they're having to hang off of like a rock wall type of thing.
Oh yeah.
But it's above water and shit.
I think they're gonna only get tougher from here.
And is there gonna be another turncoat?
Ooh. Oh, that's right, because there was
there might be another switch.
A lot of good, exciting stuff now that we're hitting the stretch run of the season. So stick and stay right here with Bama and the Butterverse. I want to thank our executive producer, Lisa Welch. Our director producer sitting outside the car right now, Ben Imperato. Don't forget to, of course, what?
Like us, subscribe, share.
Right.
Try to get us more viewers, please.
Make it happen.
I mean, we love our loyal following right now. But we got to get those numbers up.
Right.
Help us do it.
Tune in next week. Until then, she is Kristi Yard. I've been JD Butter.
We are out of here.
And we are out of here. Let's go.